Hey there, Wargamers, and welcome back to another Wargames Delivered unboxing video. This video, we're going to be unboxing the Night's Watch starter set from the A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game. This game has a great rule system and has a lot of components in each starter set, so we'll go ahead and start by removing the top here. You get a lot of components in this set, starting off with the tactics board on the top there. That is where you'll use your sort of NPC characters to influence the board. The tactics board is more for characters that aren't really proficient in combat, but still have quite an influence over the game. For instance, Cersei Lannister, Sansa Stark, and Maester Aemon for the Night's Watch set. Each starter set comes with a leaflet that goes over the units, tactics cards, and all of the components that come in the starter box. And all of the starter sets come with a rulebook that is very extensive, goes over everything that comes in the box, and goes over how to play the game. Each starter set is basically ready to play as soon as you buy it. Unlike 40k, Age of Sigmar, and Bolt Action, all of the combat units are used on a movement tray, making the gameplay a bit more different and feels a lot more regimented. Most of the game modes are named after the A Song of Ice and Fire books, which makes it very thematic when you play the game, and there is a nice rules summary on the back of the rules sheet as well. Every starter set comes with a couple sheets of cardboard cutouts for all of your terrain, your movement stick, and all of the tokens you will need in the game. As you can see, all of the cutouts pop out very easily out of the cardboard cutouts, and they don't typically tear, so you will have a nice, beautiful piece of terrain for all of your games. This game features siege modes, so there are cardboard cutouts for walls, which are especially important for the Night's Watch, but every army has these. And now we'll move on to our movement trays. With the cavalry, you have a 4-circle movement tray, and with every infantry, you have a 12-person movement tray. And for the smaller single large movement tray, you have units that can be taken as just a single unit, such as captains on horse, or for a Stark army or the Night's Watch army, you can use direwolves. The Wildling Freefolk army also uses a couple unique units using the single movement tray as well. Now we'll move on to the actual miniatures of the game. Each starter set comes with a unique pack of dice, which blends thematically into the army that they play with. For instance, the Night's Watch dice have a crow as their 6 marker on the dice. As you can see, I've painted a couple of the test minis, but these miniatures come unpainted, so you can paint them yourselves. Starting off with the cards here, we have a nice rules reference card that you can keep next to your army cards. And here are the unit cards for the Night's Watch army. You have 2 units of Sworn Brothers, 1 unit of Veterans of the Watch, 1 unit of Ranger Trackers, and of course, Ghost. These cards have everything you need to understand the unit on them: the movement, morale, defense, attack, and special abilities of the unit. And on the back of the cards, you have the point cost of every unit in your army. The Night's Watch are a pretty elite army in the A Song of Ice and Fire game, maybe the most elite army in the game, and so their point costs are all very high at about 7 points for each unit. And if you play a siege game, you have the Castle Walls card as well to add to your forces. Each unit can be augmented with attachments, as in special characters, or just a better leader for them. So for instance, we have the Watch Captain, Jon Snow, J.R. Mormont, and then the tactics board characters like Bowen Marsh and Maester Aemon. The special characters and attachments can add a lot of value to your units. You can also find the point cost on the back of the cards here, and commanders can be identified by the red C in the bottom left of their card. With this starter set, you get 2 commanders in Jon Snow and J.R. Mormont, and 2 tactics card characters in Bowen Marsh and Maester Aemon. There's also other versions of characters that you can use. For instance, you can use J.R. Mormont as a tactics card character, or Jon Snow as just an attachment to your units. So even in the starter set, you have a couple different options on how to play your army, which gives a lot of replayability to that army. Also included are your faction's tactic cards, which can really change the game for you. These help your forces recover, do more damage. All kinds of game mechanics come out of these, and you have special cards depending on which commander you choose. For instance, here is a couple of J.R. Mormont and Jon Snow's tactics cards. Also included are the Attacker and Defender's Siege Combat cards, which are specific to each army. So this one is obviously for the Night's Watch army, but depending on the army that you buy, you'll get different siege cards. Each starter set comes with 12 unique faction dice and 1 white die. All the faction's dice are specific to that faction. For instance, the Lannisters' 6 on their die is a lion head, and the Starks is a direwolf. We'll go over the named characters in this set. We have, from left to right, J.R. Mormont, Bowen Marsh, Maester Aemon, Jon Snow, and of course Ghost going on his unique movement tray here. Going over each unit in the army here, we have the Ranger Trackers, which are very effective from a long range or in melee combat. All the miniatures for this game are made by Cool Mini or Not, so they have some great sculpts, especially the ranged and mounted units here. All of the infantry units have a couple of duplicates included in them, but you can paint them differently to really stand out. This set comes with 2 units of Night's Watch Sworn Brothers. They are the standard infantry for the Night's Watch. They are also very effective for being a standard infantry unit. If you're adding an attachment to a unit, add the attachment card next to the unit card and replace the front left model if you're looking at the movement tray from the top down. And the most elite unit available in the Night's Watch starter set are the Veterans of the Watch. These guys are great in combat, great at defending themselves, and can also strike back on missed attacks from the opponent. And this is what a standard army for the Night's Watch would look like in a smaller game of A Song of Ice and Fire. As you can see, we have Jon Snow leading the Veterans of the Watch up front, and in the back we have a Watch Captain leading the Sworn Brothers. We also have Bowen Marsh and Maester Aemon to run the tactics board. The starter set offers a lot of value and a lot of replayability on the army. It gives you a full scope of what your army can do. There are also attachments, heroes, and other units you can get for your army. For instance, here we have the Night's Watch attachments number 1 and the Night's Watch heroes number 3. including special characters and alternate leaders for your units. We hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing. We will come back with more videos like this in the future. Thanks again. Bye.